Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome to Best Practices Unveiled. I am your host, Annette Eberhart, and this is a judgment-free zone. This space was created just for you, for open, honest, and thought-provoking conversations. Here, our guests speak freely, our stories run deep, and together we uncover the practices that help shape our lives and strengthen communities. This is where transformation begins. So lean in, tap in, and get ready to evolve because the next level starts right here.
That's a good one. Best Practices Unveiled is back, and today's guest is nothing short of inspirational. I'm speaking with a mother and grandmother who knows firsthand that life doesn't always go according to plan. She's faced a long, difficult battle with lupus, a chronic illness that has tested her body and spirit. But instead of letting this define her, she's chosen to share her journey with the world, offering an understanding through her book, Mommies Get Sick Too. It's a deeply personal story that reminds us that behind every role, mother, grandmother, friend, is a person with their own struggles and triumphs. Please give a warm welcome to our incredible guest, Lena Corely. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us today. As a mother and grandmother who has battled lupus, you're in a unique position to tell a story many people don't hear or talk about. What was it about that experience, balancing the love and demands of family with the realities of being chronically ill, that made you feel it was so important to share it with others? What actually inspired you to write Mommies Get Sick Too, and what is the message you hope parents and families will take away from it?
Good question. Good question. I'll start by saying, yes, lupus is very hard, and not too many people know about it. That was one reason for the book. Another, of course, my children. Now, I wrote this book in 1998,
Wow.
and trying to get it published at that time was stressful because I'm typing up letters, sending them here and there, and I'm like, it just wasn't. I didn't feel right. I felt like I was getting sick and drained, but at the time, I didn't know um, that it could be because of the lupus. Later in life, I found out that stress is bad for lupus, pretty much.
It's a trigger.
hmm And
Hmm.
then I always had my youngest daughter. She was always with me. She wasn't in school yet. And she would always ask me questions. And then, I was feeling bad as a parent that couldn't go to the beach. No, we can't go to the park. Children don't understand that.
Right.
So it takes us to kind of explain. My children actually told me once they got older, they didn't feel like I was sick. They didn't notice because I'd be in my room crying, looking in the mirror at what this lupus is doing to my skin. It's taking my hair out. It's like removing my nails. I mean, I went through it with lupus. And I didn't know it could like kind of ease up on me had I knew that the stress was like really getting to me.
Wow, that showed a lot of courage for you to be able to um, still be able to show up as a mother.
Yeah, it was
You
hard, but
know,
I did it.
yeah, yeah. I can only imagine how challenging that could be, and especially were your children small at the time?
hmm They
Okay.
were small, and I just didn't think to sit them down and tell them, look, this is what mommy's going through, 'cause I'm just now going through this. So I didn't know how to like, okay,
Right. It's hard to kind of convey that when you're in an emotional space. This is transforming your life and how you were accustomed to living, right? This is something
right,
that you had to adapt to as
it was,
well.
it was
Yeah.
tough. But I did it 30 years into it, so whatever I'm doing right now is working
Wow.
and
So
it's strength.
you wanted families to know that even though you have a chronic illness, you're still able to continue and, be positive and productive with your family and children.
And you know what I did that I now know a lot of people do still to this day because I'm on social media and I do talk about my lupus, and people, DM me want to know more about it. And so I think, okay, what? I have a calling. Okay, this is why I have lupus. God put me here. I don't know if I'm going off a little, but He put me
No, you're
here.
good.
So we always have some reason that we're born. Everybody, He got a plan for everyone. And I feel like mine was tell people about what I'm going through.
Wow.
It's tough. It's
Yeah,
tough.
it is.
But
I commend you for being vulnerable because, again, a lot of people don't talk about it. You don't really hear
no,
about it as often as you do other chronic illnesses.
right,
It's really good that you're open to sharing your journey, sharing your experiences, and also helping children to understand that mommies get sick too, because the expectation from an overall society perspective is that mommies show up regardless, right? We're there to nurture. We're there to love on our babies, just be there for them. And sometimes when we're down, or we have low energy, they don't understand what's happening. Why aren't you here? Why aren't you, present?
right.
Providing me with affection, attention. Even sometimes I'm sure it's difficult to even cook a meal.
It
You know.
was the heat.
Yeah, yeah. Can you share a moment when balancing your role as a mother, as a grandmother, while managing lupus felt especially challenging, and how you navigated through that?
Okay, how I navigate through it is to be open whenever I'm not feeling well, have a voice about it. So they understand. Now, when I was raising my children, I didn't know what I know now. And it was like more hard raising my children. But with my grandchildren, I can call, come pick up,
You can
But
send them home. You can send them home when you're ready.
time to go. I'm not, you want to babysit? I can't do it this weekend.
Right, right,
And they all understand. So whatever I'm doing, I say it again, I must be doing it right,
right,
because I'm like just keeping it here. I'm keeping it here. Now it's hard to navigate through it, but you got to figure out ways because what works for me may not work for somebody else.
right.
You know, um, I don't like a lot of attention with mine. Some may want all that attention, but we still have to do what we have to do. Just pull back a little bit. I don't know if that exactly answers your question.
Well,
Um,
it's
but
up
for
to you,
me,
however you choose to answer it. That's what this forum is. We open, no judgment.
yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. What has been the most powerful lesson your children and grandchildren have taught you during your health crisis or health journey?
Uh, I can say my grandchildren, I can feel the love. They look at me, because my skin, not all of it is clear. I could be light today, I could be like, it just, you never know. But they don't look at me no other way. No other way. And my children now, they have friends, some of them who have lupus, so they are able to tell their friends something that I went through. You know, it's just it's hard, very hard. It's hard going to the doctors because they don't know everything.
Right, they're practicing
They
medicine.
know
Right,
because it's not talked about.
right.
You know, it's not talked about.
Okay. So for our listeners who, I know you're sharing about your experience, about how lupus shows up on you. Can you give us a little bit more information, explain what lupus is and how it's affecting you in your daily life?
Yeah, it affects my daily life every morning I wake up. But most of the time, I have to take a pain pill. I try to skip it, but that's like my daily routine, popping medicine, to try to get through the day. But like when it comes to cooking, like baking stuff, sticking my hand in the oven, I know that's a no-no, but sometimes, I have to put on a mitten and, cook. Um, you gotta turn down invites, you know. People would stare like when my skin was really, really bad. Because I have this, first of all, let me step back. I have discoid lupus.
Discoid lupus, DLE, is a chronic skin condition characterized by raised red scaly patches that can cause permanent scarring.
I was going to ask what type. So
Yeah,
it's called
uh,
Discord.
discoid. I have,
Discord.
I have discoid lupus, and my first sign of discoid lupus was when I was about 14, 15. But of course, we didn't pay it no mind. But thinking back, I'm like, okay, I had it when I was a teenager because I had a rash, you know, on my chest. It went away after time. My face would burn because what it does is this is how my doctor explained it to me, and this is the easiest way. Your red blood cells and your white do not know each other.
Okay.
And so they're constantly battling. And when they battle, you can have SLE as well. You can have systemic lupus. Now, that one, when it battles your brain, your kidneys, your liver, your heart. It does that.
Tax your
This
organs.
is your skin,
Okay.
it's your hair, it's the outer of you. You know, unfortunately, I have both now because now I have congestive heart failure, so it's messing with my heart, but everything else is fine. So you can have two. Now, some people think lupus is some form of cancer. It's not true. Some people think lupus is contagious. Not true.
Mm.
Some people think only women get it. Definitely not true. Men, you all can get it too. It's not just, it don't pick a side.
Right.
You know, you can, most people find out about it after some type of, like I found out after the birth of my children is when I started, like, when it like totally came out. I mean, it just broke loose.
So what did you have start having symptoms? I mean, what happened that
Like
you
every time I got pregnant, like I said, when I was about 14, I had a rash. So I didn't have anything until I got pregnant again with my son. So I got a rash. And I'm like, oh, that's that same rash when I was, you know, went
Right.
to the dermatologist, got some cream. It went away.
Excuse me.
I got pregnant with my second child. I got a rash. Went dermatologist. I got some cream. They said maybe it's the sun. You know,
How did it look, Lena? Was it like
it looked like
eczema? Was it
burn. No, it looked like burn marks. It looked like someone took an iron and actually burnt me.
oh, okay.
So if you can imagine that, I mean, I know you don't want me to describe it, but it was, you know,
No, I
wasn't.
would because when you say rash, I just wanted to get some clarity because rashes show up in different, you know what I mean, visually
Yeah,
in different. That's all.
yeah. How it showed up on me was like I got burned.
Okay.
Um, so you know, of course they asked me, you know, was it burnt? You know, trying to get more information or trying to understand that mark and why
Right.
it looks like that, and at the same time, not able to tell me that okay, this is lupus. So with my third child, I was ready. You know, I'm like, I'm gonna get a rash after I have this
You already
baby.
knew. Right. Right.
So, and then it grew like wildflowers. It like from my head down to my toes, that rash. It and this time it got on my face. You know, I had the butterfly rash. That's a main sign, and I didn't get that one until after I had Aaliyah. After I had her, that's when it started messing with my face, and that's when I started like somebody got to tell me something. You
Right.
know? But like I said, it took a long time
Before you were diagnosed, it took a while.
to diagnose with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's good that your family's been supportive. You know, it seemed like you were really in good spirits about where you are. How do you how do you keep yourself uplifted? You know, it seems like there are so many restrictions. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I know that you had to move from Florida because of the sun. So getting out is probably difficult for you and, you know, doing some of the things you may like to do outside. How do you stay just positive about everything?
Okay. When I was in Florida, um, after you know I got diagnosed, so we knew what was going on. Um, my doctor told me, he said, if you want to live long, I advise you to move, get out of Florida. So I moved where I'm at now. You know, um, my rashes they stopped. My skin can't get discolored, you know, and it's not that clear. But as far as them burns, not one time since I've been here.
Really?
One time, and I've been here since 2004.
Wow.
Yeah, since 2004. So I had to get out and enjoy the winter, you know. So that's like all of that stuff. Me moving here is positive. You know, the other stuff, you know, um, it was messing with me mentally.
Right.
That's what it does. It messes with you mentally. You know, it's just
So what do you do to when that happened when you
I like scrapbooking.
okay.
You know, I do that, do a lot of that. I love giving having a function, just to love decorating, you know, reading, like watching movies, you know, just stuff that's like not stressful at all. Something that I like to do, you know,
Calm.
for just me, nobody else, just me, you know, because a lot of times it's about me.
I know that's right.
And I hate to be selfish, but when you have lupus, yeah, you have to be selfish, you know, and
Yeah, you got to monitor who's around you, what's going to impact you so that you don't get triggered.
yeah, you got to pick and choose, you
So
know.
those are the things that keep you motivated during
Yeah, just
difficult days.
and keeping the grandchildren, just keeping them helps me a whole lot, you know. They give me a little boost of energy. Grandchildren, you love them to come and you love them to go, you know. So I just, I'm just mommy. I'm just here. I'm just mommy. Treat me normal,
Right.
and when I'm weak or whatever, I let you know. You know, I will let you know. And see, my husband, he know all my signs. And
Wow.
like, yes,
Yeah,
the
you
best
sound like you got
thing.
a good tribe that supports you, you know,
Yeah.
understands where you are and they support you.
Mhm.
That's important. I think
It
that's
is important.
important whether you have a chronic illness or not, you know.
Yeah.
But that's
You
wonderful that you do
don't
have it.
understand. You don't understand things until you actually go through it.
Tell me about it.
If you ain't going through it, it doesn't matter. You don't want to understand it. And one thing about me, I did before I even got lupus. When someone would tell me about them, meaning like they got cancer, they going through this, or I do try to figure it out. I mean, now we got Google, but not a lot of people will Google to find out, okay, what's going on with my loved one.
Right,
You
right. Show
know,
some compassion, some
yeah, you
empathy.
don't have to help, but if you want to know what it is, look it up. And I think we could do that as a community.
I agree. I think that's important. This way you can have an understanding on maybe what that person may be experiencing because a lot of times when we have chronic illnesses, our lifestyle changes. So you
It,
may not be able to show up like you used to. You may not want to be on the phone or be able to go places and things like that. And sometimes people take that, to heart when it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with you or the individual who's experiencing. And like you said, when you're in that space, it's so good that you are able to say it's about me
mhm,
and I got to do what's necessary for me while I'm in this space. I think
right.
that's very important. And I really wanted to bring this to our listeners because um, we don't hear enough about it,
No,
how it
not
impacts our lives. I have another good friend of mine who, has lupus, and I'm checking in on her a lot, because sometimes she has the flare ups and it impacts her in different ways as well. But like you said, you don't really hear about it. And I think it's important that we become more aware about these things that are happening in our communities to our mommies, to our grandmothers, you know what I mean? And find a way where we can be a bit more supportive because not everybody has a great support system like you. And they still have to function, they still have to go to work, they still have to whether go to school,
mm,
and show up for their families. And I think that if you don't have the support of a family network, then maybe counseling. What would you give to other parents and grandparents who are navigating chronic illness while still trying to be fully present for their families? What type of advice would you offer them?
okay. First and foremost, it's all about you. You know, um, you have to be open. Because not only do we expect someone to know what we're going through, we have to expect that we have to tell, I'm not saying that right, but we have to know to tell someone what we're going through.
That's
You
true.
know, So sometimes you can't depend on no others. You know, you have to break it down to them and let them know, I'm having a flare up, I'm weak, and just let them know it's not them. It's not that I don't want to show up.
Right.
It's not about that, you know. And so we can't automatically think because we also got to put some responsibility on ourselves because we are the ones that's dealing with it.
Right.
You know, they're not. Yeah, we expect them to learn, but we got to, like I said, put yourself first.
Right.
So um, just have positive people around you. Stay away from, hate that word, I really do, but stay away from drama, like just any and all things that will aggravate you. You know, just it's hard for me to answer that question.
You're doing fine.
Yeah, it's hard because um, what I say all the time, and everybody hear me say, is stress. And see, that's what I know to say. It's stress. I'm stressed. And I remember how I used to look. I don't want to ever look like that again. So, me personally, I'm just concentrating on my family. You know, kind of leave the outside noise on the outside.
I love that.
Explain things to your family, and hopefully they'll get it, which mine do. And I, I'm lucky. I'm lucky about that. They're here with me. You know, so.
Wow.
And then I have a mother. If she know or sense somebody's stressing me, yeah, I got a mama bear.
You got a mama bear.
I do.
Mama don't play by her baby.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
No, she doesn't. Miss Pearl.
Yes, I do.
She As a matter of fact, she even moved to Tampa after I got sick. Like when I was going through my worst of it, my brother moved, two of my sisters, my mother,
All come to support you. That's
all in
amazing.
Florida.
Oh.
Yeah. And so just I loved it. Missed my people, but I had to think about me.
Right. Right. And I appreciate that because not everybody is strong enough to make that decision.
It was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard, but just looking at myself and just can't get out of bed. Yeah, it was pretty hard.
Well, you are beautiful, and I appreciate you being vulnerable and strong in this space to be able to come here on this platform and share your journey. Um, I know you said you have 3 children. How many grandchildren do you have?
Ooh, 7.
Is it 7, Lena?
It's 7. 7. And a bonus one. I have a bonus baby. But my children, my 2 daughters, my son, they all had boys. Boy after boy. So I had 5 grandboys. And I'm like, hey, Lord, I am so girly. I'm a girly girl. And I want to do somebody's hair. So I was like, Lord God, give me a granddaughter. And what's so funny about it, my son and his girlfriend and then my daughter, they both got pregnant at the same time. So I had 2 grandgirls 1 month apart.
Wow.
I'm like, I asked for grandgirl, but I ain't. Two at the
You
same
got
time.
double trouble now. Yes.
That's two gifts.
What a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. It
It,
just
it
brings
is.
about family.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, for sure. Is there anything else you would like to share with our listeners today?
You know what? Something I should have said at the beginning, because I don't know if you could tell, but a person with lupus, they can have lupus fog. Don't get it mixed up with, oh, you can, oh, yeah, that happens too, But early on, I noticed I had, like, I would forget things, I would forget conversations. I can tell you what I did, where I was at when I was young. Right now, I can tell you everything. I got memories when I was 5, but the present, I can't tell you too many things. So yeah, I got to kind of take it easy on. If you tell me, well, you said such and such, you didn't make it, you know, I forgot.
Right,
It
right,
don't mean I'm not listening. I'm listening. I couldn't help it that, I forgot, you know, and my mother, while we having conversations and I'm trying to tell her something, she would sit on that phone and wait for me to figure it out what I was trying to tell her. Sometimes I mix my words up because I'm like, how do you pronounce this word? But my doctor told me just
take your time.
keep going, just don't stop, don't give into it. So I do that, and I hate that people find it, I say, offensive, because you can have a conversation with them today and you forget all about the conversation the next day. And no, I'm not ignoring you. I promise
Right,
you I'm not. I honestly don't remember,
right.
and that's terrible.
It's not terrible. It's terrible, like you said, that people, I think it's just education,
Right, right.
so that's what we're here for. You're here, you're giving your story, you're giving some education to our listeners, and hopefully this will help them to better understand when they encounter somebody that has lupus, that there are several symptoms that can impact,
Mm,
how they interact,
yeah.
with family and friends, or just in general, And again, and it's not that you want a pity party, but just have some consideration and some empathy, because again, when you're in your shoes, walking your path, only you really know what that experience is like. So to be open in this space and vulnerable and sharing this information is amazing. And I just want to show you all her book. She got it in the background there too. But Mommies Get Sick Too. Tell them where they can get this book, Lena.
Amazon. Just type in "Mommies Get Sick Too" at Amazon. We all shop at Amazon.
I know that's right.
Amazon is my friend.
Yes,
That's my
yes.
buddy.
It's a very good book to help children again understand
Why?
what happens when mommies get sick, the doctor's appointments, sometimes the mood swings. It's important to educate your
Mom in the
children.
bed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes we want to keep, I know sometimes we want to keep things to ourselves because we don't want to burden our children, no matter what ages they are, right? We don't want to burden them with the things that we're going through, the things that we're experiencing, because we want to hold it all in, but not realizing by holding it all in, sometimes we energetically throw it on them, and we don't realize how that affects them emotionally when you're in a space of not feeling well and not showing up well, and they can see it. So it's better just to communicate in a way that they can understand, and I think that this book helps children through that process, family members in general. You got the pictures of the illustration, you show illustrations of um, going to the doctors. It's really a great book for kids. It gives them a description on what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Family oriented. You got your mom in here, your husband. I mean, everything is. I love how you put this all together, Lena, and for you to have worked on it throughout the years, it just shows how dedicated and how much work you've put into still showing up as your beautiful self while you're experiencing this chronic illness.
Mm-hmm. It is. I also want to add, when I'm invited somewhere, I have to always, a person with lupus, your immune system is like shot. We have such a weak immune system. So when I go out to eat, I'll ask for a cup of hot water to put my silverware in. I've been known to take my own silverware. It's just certain things that we have to do to keep from, if you're in the car and you coughing,
Right.
I don't need a ride,
I don't need a ride. I'm
I
gonna live.
don't need a
I'm
ride.
good. It's so bad.
So a person with low immune, they're not being funny.
Right. Right.
They would catch a cold from someone who had a cold 5 days ago. Believe me, it happens. It
Right.
happens. And we're not being funny. So, if you know someone who has lupus or any low immune system, just be cautious and kind of put them first, you know what I mean? Over you wanting to go out and do this or whatever, because they can't hang with you,
Right.
and let us know, like, my daughter's sick, but she's in a house. No, I can't come over.
Right.
And I'm not being funny. I don't ever want no one to think I'm like being mean or I'm being standoffish. It's not that at all. Not at all.
You got to protect yourself. I understand it. Once again, communication is everything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't share where you are. How would somebody know to not have you come over and they know that their environment may not be safe for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they have a sick child or, maybe even the environment itself is not even conducive enough.
Right. And they laugh at me when I bring out my Lysol can, because even before COVID, I would spray with my Lysol.
Yes.
You know, um, what else am I to do besides protect myself?
But it's saying protect yourself. That's all you can do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Lena, I thank you for this incredible conversation. Your honesty has shown us that being fully present doesn't mean being perfect. It means showing up with love, even on your hardest days. It's a powerful lesson for us all, for those who want to hear more about her story and wisdom. Again, you can find Mommies Get Sick Too on Amazon. She can provide you with her email if you all have any questions or concerns. You want to tell them your email and your social media, they can reach out to you?
My email, I give you my email, it's maturity66@hotmail.com.
If you have any questions, you just want to talk about, you need some clarity, she's more than welcome to open up some dialogue and have conversation. To our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Annette05, and leave your comments below. You can find our publications by visiting www.kidsareus.org or at our local bookstores here in Hillsborough County. Until next time, keep evolving. Bye.
Bye.
To everyone listening, this is a space where diversity and innovation are created. If you'd like to be a guest or collaborate, I'd love to hear from you. Email me at AnnetteE05@gmail.com Or you could message me on Instagram at TrueGoddess14. Let's keep planting seeds, building relationships, knowledge, and understanding. Until next time, keep evolving.